Breaking news out of Ottawa, Mark Carney has just suffered a political collapse so complete, it feels like a resignation. No, he didn't walk out and hand over the keys, but he might as well have. Because tonight, Pierre Poilievre has seized the narrative, hijacked the agenda, and left Carney's minority government in political limbo. What happened? How did the Liberals lose the plot so fast? And why are some insiders calling this the unofficial resignation of a prime minister who never even got started? Welcome to Maple Flash, where today's drama is more than politics. It's a power struggle in real time. This was supposed to be Carney's moment, a new prime minister, fresh off a throne speech, promising stability after Trudeau. Instead, what Canadians witnessed this week was a silent unraveling. A prime minister present in title, but absent in authority. It started with the throne speech, a confidence vote that should have been an easy win. But what unfolded looked more like an open rebellion. The NDP bailed. The Conservatives attacked. And Carney's own caucus, whispering doubts behind closed doors. He survived the vote, but only because nobody bothered to fight it. There wasn't a dramatic showdown. There wasn't even a count. The whole thing passed, on division, the parliamentary version of a collective shrug. In other words, he held power on paper, but lost it in spirit. And in Canadian politics, that's the beginning of the end. While Carney was scrambling to keep the house together, Pierre Poilievre was already rearranging the furniture. With surgical precision, he let the Liberals self-destruct. And then stepped in to claim the spotlight. Behind the scenes, Poilievre's team was already rallying MPs, floating motions, and preparing for the next confidence vote, the main estimates, Canada's entire spending blueprint. And guess what? It's already being treated like the next battlefield. The message was clear. Carney may be prime minister, but Poilievre is leading the agenda. And in the vacuum of leadership, Canadians are listening to him. Let's be blunt. When a prime minister can't pass a throne speech without swallowing 3 opposition amendments. When their closest allies start walking sideways. And when the public begins asking, who's really in charge? You don't need a formal resignation. You've already lost the room. Insiders are now calling Carney's role a caretaker without confidence. He's technically still in office, but functionally sidelined. A leader whose party isn't listening, whose partners aren't cooperating. And whose rivals are already measuring the curtains at 24 Sussex. It's the kind of political exile that doesn't need paperwork, just silence. And the fallout? The Liberals are cracking from within. Progressive MPs are furious that Carney bent to Conservative pressure in the throne speech. Centrists are worried about the economy, inflation, and crumbling public trust. Even long-time staffers admit morale has tanked. There's no clear strategy. No public momentum. And worst of all, no visible fight. Meanwhile, Poilievre is everywhere. News clips. Pressers. Town halls. He's campaigning without a campaign, and it's working. Liberal insiders are warning, if the government loses the main estimates vote, it won't just be a budget defeat. It will be Carney's final curtain. So what now? The next confidence vote, the main estimates, is just days away. And unlike the throne speech, this one can't be waved through with a nod. If Carney loses, Parliament falls. And this time, there won't be any political loopholes to bail him out. The NDP has already said they're voting against. Poilievre's Conservatives are locked in. The Bloc. Watching, waiting, and ready to tip the scales. One vote could end Carney's government before it ever found its footing. And if that happens, Pierre Poilievre won't need to take power. It will fall right into his lap. So, did Mark Carney resign? Not officially. But in the eyes of Parliament, the press, and increasingly, the public, his grip on power is already gone. This has been Maple Flash, where Canadian politics meets real-time drama. If you want the truth behind the headlines, hit like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments. Is this the end of the Carney experiment? Or does he have one last trick up his sleeve? We'll be watching, because in Ottawa, power never leaves quietly.